By now you might have seen news about the so-called Flour Massacre in Gaza, where a bunch of starving Gazans were queuing up for food around an aid truck. One of the ones that managed to get in, because crazed far-right Israelis are at the border stopping trucks getting in. They're even holding parties, raves, playing music, dancing, whooping and hollering while they stop these trucks coming in. Okay, but a truck managed to come in and people were queuing around it, and it seems that the IDF opened fire, killing, estimates vary, but let's say between 70 and 120 people based on what I've read. As I say, there's always the fog of war, isn't there? And hard facts are in dispute, but it seems that around 100 people have been killed. Apparently they've arrived at hospitals or morgues with gunshot wounds. So we know that the Israeli story of them having been trampled to death in a stampede, that's BS. No surprise there if Israel and its apologists have been lying. Already there's some story that Hamas killed them, opened fire on their fellow Palestinians to discredit Israel or whatever. Even if that is true, it won't change the fact that since October, Israel have killed 30,000 people. I read today that 27,000 of them are or were women and children. Let that sink in. These were likely not hardened Hamas fighters. These were women and children. And it wouldn't change the fact that an estimated 10 children a day in Gaza have been having limbs amputated without anesthetic. Let that sink in. Imagine having an arm, a leg, multiple arms, multiple legs, whatever, cut off with no anesthetic. I can't imagine. I also can't imagine what that poor guy who set himself on fire, one must have been going through his head during his final moments. And he wasn't crazy, I don't think. And even if he was, this world will make you crazy. People not caring about a genocide, supporting a genocide, that'll make you crazy. In the same way that people not giving a shit about climate change that's going to kill millions in the global south. That's making me a bit crazy, as well as this Gaza thing. So I don't think the guy was crazy, but what must have been going through his head? What must have been going through his head? And whatever you want to say about him, it's got people talking about Israel's depraved actions in Palestine since October, and some people are scratching beneath the surface and have now even heard of the nakba. I myself didn't know much about it a year ago or 6 months ago, but now I know more. I don't know what more to say. Just had an epic rant on Facebook about how I'm ashamed to be British. Britain's support of this has made me thoroughly ashamed, with the exception of those brave souls marching in the streets of London and other cities who are being smeared as Hamas supporters of terrorism, anti-Semitic fiends and whatever. We know, hopefully you know and I know, that criticising Israel is no more anti-Semitic than criticising what Russia's been doing in Ukraine is anti-Russian, or criticising what the Chinese have been doing to the Uyghurs in Xinjiang is anti-Chinese. It's not. It's anti the people in charge, the sick freaks in charge and the sick freaks who support them. And even in Israel there are people who are calling out what the government, Netanyahu and his mobster friends are doing, but there aren't enough people. There need to be more people in Israel, but we can't count on that, can we? Because they've been brainwashed. What we need is more people all around the world speaking up now, because this has to stop now. This has to stop 5 months ago. This has to stop 75 months ago. The nakba shouldn't have happened, but this needs to stop now. So please, I don't expect you to share this video, because you don't want to make people have to look at this big pink ham-like face. But share some content about this, alright? Share articles, keep talking about it, spread the word, because this cannot stand, not in our name. That's all I've got. Good night from Bangkok, or rather I should say good morning, because I managed a couple of hours sleep and then woke up due to the health conditions I have that are ongoing. But anyway, good morning / night from me, Dan, in Bangkok. Cheers.